Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Well, it has been quite an exciting week. The big news today is that the House officially passed the Genius Act, which contains a lot of the stablecoin legislation that we have been waiting on here in the industry. So bravo, we're finally getting over the hump there. Other news is that we're still continuing to see a lot of activity in digital asset treasury companies on the public market. There's a lot of love for SharpLink, which is the one that the Ethereum Foundation's co-founder Joe Lubin has been pouring a lot of money into. We're also seeing a lot of support for ETH, which is finally broken and held above $3,000. Bitcoin is continuing to make new all-time highs, and Grayscale has confidentially filed for an IPO. So lots going on in the market. As usual, though, we're here to talk about tokens, so we will get right into it. So first up, I'm actually got a double up here for you guys. TAC and TON. So yesterday, TAC, a layer one, which is a layer one protocol aimed at providing EVM compatibility to the TON blockchain, launched their public mainnet. So TAC, which is short for TON application chain, was basically designed and created as this solve because, as I think I've talked about in the past, chains that aren't EVM compatible, basically meaning they cannot use the same coding language for smart contracts that Ethereum and a lot of other like very basic chains can be really harder. It makes it a lot harder to get new developers onto that chain because they are constantly fighting the battle then of learning new code bases, new language, new libraries, all these types of things. And so in order to really kind of like amp up adoption, the TON blockchain or the TON really saw the need to have some sort of EVM compatibility on their side. So this is their solve for that, called TAC. So like I said, I think this is really big for them. The hope here is that really they're going to be getting a lot of Ethereum DeFi apps to launch on the TON blockchain. They also have a Ethereum compatible bridge to TON, along with all these other options. So far, we've seen stablecoin swap protocol Curve announce that they launched on TAC this morning, along with lend borrow protocol Euler Finance. To date, this is important. TON has only attracted about $380 million of TVL. And when you really comp this against Ethereum at 184 billion, Solana at 24 billion, the hope is really that they can start to kind of make some gains in growing that TVL and growing that DeFi activity on the TON blockchain. TAC as a new issue token, it's up 4.6% since launch, and TON is up 11% for the week. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about Pump.Fun. This has been the biggest thing in the news the last week. It has been, I've talked about it a bunch, but the token is finally here, so I can actually talk about it as a full separate thing here. So Pump.Fun, if you're not familiar with it, they're the main meme coin launchpad based on Solana. They have been dominating the space the last year and a half as they've been churning out new meme coins and really raking in the cash. I think since launch, they've made somewhere like $700 or $600 million in revenue. But they essentially launched their token on Saturday. They started with a token sale on Saturday. The sale was filled within 12 minutes. With users on Bybit and Kraken unable to even purchase just due to demand. So Kraken has since announced that they're going to be airdropping some tokens to affected users. A lot of people were obviously upset. There's always problems with these types of things. On chain, about 23,000 wallets actually completed KYC to participate in the sale, with only about 10,000 of those wallets able to buy. The token officially began trading Monday after announcing that it would trade Tuesday. So as you can see, it's been a bit of a mess. And they also released released amongst a pretty busy market. Bitcoin was climbing to 120,000, fueling this overall market activity. But the cool thing with Pump.Fun is that starting yesterday, they actually started buybacks based on revenue. And so far, Pump.Fun has purchased $19.2 million of their tokens off the market in 2 days. not even 2 full days. It's been like a day and a half, which is pretty awesome. So trading on pump has definitely started a little shaky. It opened at about 0.0054 cents, or a $5.4 billion fully diluted market cap. But the token has since risen about 8. It went up yesterday, but it's since fallen again. It's risen about 8% since launch total, to now trade at just under 0.006 cents at a $5.9 billion fully diluted market cap. So this is definitely one to watch and one to keep an eye on as it unfolds. All right, last here, we're going to talk about Ondo Finance. So on Monday, Ondo Finance, the RWA project, announced that they'd actually acquired Strangelove, a blockchain developer. So the move is supposed to be helping Ondo bolster their development of on-chain RWA projects, especially as it aims to launch their own chain and a tokenization platform capable of supporting the trading of U.S. securities. If you didn't see, Ondo recently also announced its acquisition of Oasis Pro Markets in order to acquire a broker-dealer license. So another one that has been making moves. It has also been performing well. It's up 15% for the week. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.